problems with his dad is kind of like the root of his problem.
But I see what he did there again. Yeah, that's pretty clever. Yeah, I'm going to use that sometime. I think. Should we give him credit? Absolutely not.
welcome to the Dada and Boys podcast. Your boy is eating something because he's hungry. Yeah. We just got off the podcast with Jonathan, also Trillo and Suede. So actually we had 3 people on the podcast tonight.
What three? What three today?
It was a fun conversation, man. It was ventriloquism. Talked about some spooky puppet stories, and the life of a ventriloquist. Are you done chewing? Swallow your damn food.
And he's a dad too, so it doesn't violate any rules.
Woo! It was a good time. I like talking to him. You have anything else to say about it?
Now let's get to the interview.
All right, here we go.
Welcome to the Dada and Boys podcast.
How you doing today, Mike?
Man, I feel energized. I'm super pumped to talk to these 2 gentlemen.
Trillo and Suede. We actually got some real life detectives here with us today.
What are we figuring out today, though?
What's being investigated today?
Well, if you have some kind of an issue, you could always talk to us about it. But it doesn't have to be today. You can always come by our office.
Well, that's in Brooklyn. I don't think you're in Brooklyn, you guys, right?
Where are you situated? Are you close to Brooklyn?
No.
New York?
I'm in California. Mike's from Texas.
Well, it depends on how important and how urgent your case is. It might be worth a flight over to New York City for us to solve it. You'll be the judges of that.
So I first discovered you guys on the Sanagato Studios YouTube channel. And you had another podcaster learning how to do ventriloquism. That's the right word, right?
Yeah, I gave him a few ideas, a few tips on how to do it. Of course, it takes a lot of practice. I came by it very naturally. Like I was just, as soon as I came into existence, I was carved about 33 years ago, was it?
About.
Yeah.
He wasn't born.
I was carved out of oak wood. And right away, I was carved into existence with this uncanny ability to do ventriloquism. So I had to find myself a dummy. Here he is.
Well, that's his version of the events. But I know he's kind of kidding around.
Yeah, I like to sort of troll him a little bit about that.
But we actually met in the Last Exit nightclub in Brooklyn, New York.
We were hanging out there, and he was looking for somebody to join his ventriloquist act. So I tried it out, but I gave it up very quickly because I find it demeaning and humiliating to play the role of the dummy. It's kind of sickening. Maybe you want to throw up. So I said, no dice. We're not going to do this. But we can do something else together because we kind of like hit it off as friends, a lot of other stuff in common. The way we think about stuff and look at stuff. So we think we like to solve mysteries.
And we like to figure people out and psychoanalyze people and size people up.
So that combination of stuff, the mysteries, investigation, solving stuff, analyzing people, detectives. That's the way to go. We decided we'll be private investigators, and the rest is history.
So you've been on the call here for a couple of minutes. What can you say about me? I'm sure you psyched me up. Maybe you've looked at my social medias. Maybe you've did a couple of background checks on me.
Absolutely not, because we had virtually no interest in your background. I mean, if you're I figured if we were hired to investigate you, you better believe we would have checked you out very thoroughly. But we kind of don't care. It's just really figured it's going to be fun. You seem like a interesting guy to just have a chat with and get to know each other. Who knows? But we separate. A lot of people think that we do that all the time. Always investigating, always analyzing. But it's a job.
Yeah, I mean, we like anything else. We get tired of it. We want to get our minds off it when we're not actually on a case.
So if you're not hiring us, if you're not paying us money, dough, moolah, lettuce, greenbacks, all that stuff, well then we're not going to investigate you.
Since you work for money's come from trees. You're essentially from a tree. Is that kind of a little morbid?
Sounds that's kind of disgusting a little bit. I would feel offended about money. I think I would only use coins, not paper.
Well, I see where you're going with that thing too. That's kind of the stretch. I don't really care, because it's the essence of what's the result. I don't care where anything came from. I mean, like, I don't discriminate. I go out with human chicks all the time. I don't care that they're not made out of wood. They don't seem to care either. I mean, they kind of really dig me. If you catch my drift, that's Michael is over there, right? Mike is the tech guy. It looks like he's got those cords on his head. So
Not even close to the tech guy. I'm onto your little investigation skills, man. Nope, I am not the tech guy. The tech guy is to my left or right, depending on how we're situated.
I don't see this hiding someplace. And you're what's that? Daddy? You call yourself Daddy? Well, you're not my daddy because my daddy was an oak tree, so it can't be you.
How old was your dad before he passed away? I know he had. I mean, I'm assuming
795 years old.
He had to pass away to give birth to you. Is that correct?
Well, not really. I mean, they just from the story that I got, they took a chunk out of his trunk. They just cut a chunk out of this trunk, and I think he survived. The rumor has it that he survived the ordeal, and he's someplace in upstate New York, in the Adirondack Mountains. But I never wanted to go. Well, I toyed with the idea of investigating, but then I figured, well, he kind of abandoned me. He could have sought me out, but he didn't.
That's one of the few things that he's sensitive about.
And then you'll find one of the differences between us is Trillo's kind of the sensitive guy. He tries to cover it, not let the people on. But it's kind of obvious if you talk to a little bit. But I'm not sensitive.
In general, he's certainly not. But that's a sore spot, a weak spot with him. This feeling abandoned by his father. There in the Adirondack Mountains.
So I don't really know if he's still there or not. He might still be standing. You never know.
Well, that's the good thing about him being an oak tree. He's not really going anywhere. You know where to find him. So if you want to search, you can find him.
It seems like
he's still there. I hope he's still there.
Yeah, the option's always open.
It seems like problems with his dad is kind of like the root of his problem.
But
I see what he did there again. Yeah, that's pretty clever. Yeah, I'm going to use that sometime.
Should we give him credit?
Absolutely not. Who cares? Nobody cares.
So you guys been doing this for quite some time now. You guys got an impressive track record, and you're even displaying your journeys and adventures that you've gone on through YouTube and stuff like that, which is dope. When do you think about possibly hanging it up?
Well, basically, it depends more on my partner because, he's human, which is a huge disadvantage. I mean, we started off together. I mean, he was relatively young guy there, 33 years ago, young guy. But, now he became an old fart after all these years. So it depends on Trillo. Basically, we'll keep this up as a team until he drops dead, which could be any day now. Who knows? But whatever that is. That's the sad reality, like he's going to keep going, outlive me, and the advantage of being carved out of wood. Yeah, that's the thing.
Now, Suede, if God forbid that does happen and stuff like that, or if Trillo gets a little bit, if he wants to pass on the reins, are you open to possibly getting a new partner?
Are you applying for a job here? Send me your resume. Now I'm gonna vet you. Now I'll really check you out. If you're interested in partnering with me, you better believe that I'm gonna check you out.
Well, but the point is, would you even consider that?
Probably not. I'm gonna go solo. When you're finished here, when you're gone, I'll just go solo. I don't really need Trillo. We're a good team, so it's like I enjoy having him around as a partner because we sort of work together very well, even though he's a pain in the ass on a personal level.
Well, the feeling's mutual.
Absolutely. We get sick of each other sometimes. So that's why we like downtime separately. But as partners, detective partners, we really we got something good going here. So I don't know if anybody's going to replace Trillo in that regard. But send me your resume, Mike. I'll consider it.
Is the term puppet offensive to you, Suede?
Yes, absolutely. Do not call Trillo a puppet because I find it offensive to call him a puppet. I'm here to back you up, Trillo. Don't call him a puppet. It's very insulting.
Yeah, okay. But as far as calling Suede a puppet, well, yeah, it's a little bit odd. Strikes me as odd why people tend to do that. I mean, because he's my partner.
Yeah, puppet. That's and it has all kind of connotations that may be negative or something. So no, that's the I'd say a wooden American in my case.
What
Wooden
American?
American.
Yeah, in my case.
So since you were Trill's first wooden American, was that correct, or did he have other
Well, I
woodeners
assume
prior
that
to you?
I assume that he had a bunch of woodies at some point before he met me, but I hope it wasn't inspired by me. That's a kind of nauseating thought.
Well, are you on his lap
But
right now?
You had to point that out, huh? Now I really feel sick. Geez, what am I doing? Oh, I know what I'm doing. You know, we couldn't squeeze together on this damn computer, so I had to get closer and a little closer than I liked.
yeah, the feeling's mutual, but we have to squeeze close in order to do the like fit in the camera frame. So
We'll just ignore that for now. Yeah, but mostly we just work together as detectives. In fact, we've got a case right now. We both gotta get going, you know? We have to meet up with Chloe Cliche.
one of our favorite femme fatales. We have to meet her at the last exit nightclub. But we do have this fan.
A fanatical fan, a crazed fan named Jonathan Geffner, and he's hanging around here. He loves to talk to you because, you know, he's sort of like our right-hand guy, you know, helps us out. But I gotta warn you guys, he's a little loony. He's really off the deep end. You know what he thinks? He thinks he created us. Do you imagine? Yeah, he thinks
This guy thinks he's God.
yeah, something like that. And like so he's a little he's off his rocker. But I think he's harmless. You could be the judges. We'll get into the thing. You
So
know, to come here and talk to you.
All right, yeah, we'll on our way out. We'll tell Jonathan to come over here and talk to you.
You know,
But
some people sort of confuse Trillo with Jonathan. He
no,
has a sort of uncanny resemblance.
Yeah, that's true. People see resemblance, but I don't know. It's
Everybody's got a doppelganger, man. So Trillo,
Yeah.
Suede, I appreciate you guys. It was
what?
awesome talking to you.
One
Yes.
last question, Suede. I've been dying to know. Okay, so I'm sure with a high profile job, you meet a lot of ladies. What's your body count?
Who keeps count? I can't keep track anymore. I lost count a long time ago. Yeah, I put I carved the notches on my ass each time, but I can't count them anymore. It's just a big smudge now.
so he lost count. Yeah, I've lost count trying to keep count of him.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay,
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
you're welcome. My pleasure. I'll see if Jonathan's here.
A few moments later.
Hi guys. So I was overhearing there. I had a little chat with my partners Trillo and Suede, huh?
Yeah, you're the mastermind, huh?
Yes, that's true.
There's God
they don't want
himself.
to believe it, but yeah, I created those characters quite a while ago and tried to bring them to life. Well, just sort of my main characters, as you heard in that little talk there with Trillo and Suede. I have a lot of puppet characters. I do shows with all kinds, but I focus these days on those Trillo and Suede detective partners. That's my
That's
main
your bread and
characters.
butter. Right on. I like it. I like the duo. It's a you got the Trillo and Suede. They flow together. It's almost like they finish each other's sentences. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's
It's almost
they
like
really
they're
know each other
one.
very well. It's amazing. Like they have the sixth sense about each other.
How does
How
How
long
does-
have you been?
no, go ahead.
How long have you been doing ventriloquism for? I mean, it is so Suede. He's 33, right? He was made 33 years or
Yes.
was born 33 years ago. How long have you been doing
Carved.
ventriloquism?
Yeah, well, I've been a ventriloquist for let's see now, 37 years. So it was shortly after that, a few years after that, that I got my first my Suede character, and but I had a few puppets already before then that I was using, and since then I've developed a few others. I've got about a dozen puppet characters that I use intermittently. When I do live shows, I rarely use Suede, and I rarely appear as Trillo and Suede. This is kind of a separate path direction in the videos and movies that I've created over these years featuring Trillo and Suede, because my my career, the way I make money is from doing live shows, which use very different characters, an assortment of characters. But my passion has become mostly to promote Trillo and Suede as much as possible. I've written several screenplays that I've been trying to get produced for a number of years. Searched ways to raise the money or find producers, and come close several times. Long story of near misses about getting these things funded. So a lot of frustrations in that, but I did self-fund a short movie, my first Trillo and Suede movie back in 2005. Really dating myself. I really slept out there. But 2005. Then that's when 2005 is when I shot this little movie called Oxford Park. It's a 15-minute film, little mystery featuring Trillo and Suede. I shot in England on location there. And since then, in those years since then, I've been trying to get other movies made, feature films that I've written. But then just last year, I shot Casa Noir, is my latest venture on a kind of larger scale, a produced movie. It's a 22-minute film, so a short film, which is a parody of Casablanca, the famous 1942 Humphrey Bogart, Ingrid Bergman movie. And so it's my own version of it, my Trillo and Suede version of it, parody and tribute. So I'm busy promoting that, trying to use that as a demo to attract investors and producers to shoot one of these feature films of Trillo and Suede. But I also, in the meantime, I do lots of little videos on TikTok and YouTube. I do usually 3 every day, just of these very short little, things. So I just churn them out. I've done probably about 1,000 of them in the last few years, or couple.
And you do this full time?
Well, I'm really just working part-time these days. But the full-time meaning is it's been my main income all this time since I became a ventriloquist. Shortly after I became, like 38 years ago. Shortly after that, I was almost a virtually full-time ventriloquist. I do some other things also part-time because from now and then. I'm also a pianist, and I was a serious pianist at some points when I was young, trying to be or considering being a concert pianist. So I got a master's degree in piano, and then off and on I was pursuing that, but not diligently enough because I had too many other interests. But I used to do some performing, and I still have a few piano students, so I do that. And then I accompany people sometimes in concerts. So that's the one thing. I also do some Yiddish translating. I'm fluent in Yiddish. I have a degree also in Yiddish language and literature, Yiddish and Hebrew both. But Yiddish is kind of my specialty. I don't know if you were, those are 2 separate languages. A lot of people don't realize that. Hebrew is the official language of Israel, the country of Israel. It's the ancient Jewish language, and it's the language they revived when the modern state of Israel was developed or declared in 1948. Anyway, they revived the language of Hebrew. But Yiddish is a European Jewish language which is dying out. Very few people speak it, but I do, and learned it, and so I translate, I teach it. So these are side things that I do, but my main thing is ventriloquism.
How does one get into ventriloquism?
Well, for me, it was a moment, a catharsis moment that I had when it was let's see, what was it, 38, well, maybe 37 years ago, something like that. I saw a street performer in Manhattan, New York City, a ventriloquist street performer, and it was the first time I'd ever seen a live ventriloquist perform, other than on TV, but in real life. And it was very inspiring. I just felt at that moment that this is what I have to do. It seemed like just the perfect, the most exciting, amazing thing I could do. So I just set about learning how to do it, practicing obsessively. And within a few months, I was doing it professionally.
That's rad. So I have a thing with like dolls, puppets, things that can like move, blink. I don't like the blinking dolls and stuff like that.
Mike only likes the dolls with the holes in them.
Yeah, that's it. My question is, you said you had about like 12 puppets?
Yeah, different characters. Yeah, I have multiples of some. Most of them, I have backups, like at least two of each puppet. I've got two Suedes also, but yeah, but 12 different characters.
Don't tell him
Anything
that.
weird ever happen?
Or you question your sanity. You're like, wait a minute, I don't think I put him there.
Well, I question my sanity all the time. It has nothing to do with ventriloquism, though. But maybe it does have, but not that I'm aware of. But no, actually, when I'm not, I do ventriloquism so much, and I do so many shows, live shows, and then when I'm not doing the live shows, I do all these YouTube and TikTok videos just to try to keep promoting this and make it go bigger. So whenever I'm not doing it, I usually just take my mind off it. Like when I was beginning in the early days, early couple of years of ventriloquism, I was just learning the techniques and doing a distant voice kind of thing and make it sound like my voice comes from some other place. So I sometimes like play little tricks like the pranks kind of thing, make people, throw my voice and make people, like wonder where the voice is. So I got a kick out of that a little bit, but after just a little couple of years, I just stopped doing it because like I have no interest in doing it when I'm not actually performing or making videos. So I want to get my mind off it.
Did have you ever caught yourself when the camera's not recording, you talk to them or you tell them something in passing, and then remember, oh shit, they're a puppet?
Well, it's not exactly, it doesn't happen exactly like that. But when I am operating a puppet, I've done it so much and so long, and that it is very second nature. So I do have the feeling that they are real. It's not just I can act anymore. I mean, of course, on some level, I mean, there's a super consciousness. I don't know what to call that, but that of course I'm aware of that I'm doing everything, but I don't feel it. I generally feel like they're real. I sometimes I remind myself that that's a funny thing that happens. You're asking me a weird thing. Yeah, there have been moments like that when when I do I consciously forget for a while that I'm doing it, that I'm making them talk and operating them, and I get like a chill occasionally when it just like dawns on me like, oh wait, I'm doing this? I forgot, like
Yeah, it's almost like it's almost like they're possessing you. Like I have a weird, like I said, I have a weird thing with puppets and stuff like that. So I think that I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, I understand what you're talking about with.
Have they ever
fucking creepy?
Have they ever said anything that pissed you off when you're like, oh shit, I'm the one who said it?
Yeah, that kind of thing. That's because of course they're alter egos, and there's a traditional, like a cliche about that, which is true about the puppets being able to say stuff that I wish I could say, or get away with stuff, or they're all different aspects of my personality that may be submerged, and so that's kind of fun. That's very therapeutic, it's better than therapy, I've found, to be using the puppets for that reason. But yeah, there are those moments where sometimes I surprise myself, and I wasn't planning to say things, I mean, of course, my subconscious made them say things, and I
Who said
cast
that?
at myself. Whoa, he said that, Yeah. Oh, one funny thing happened to me once in an airport when I was traveling. Sometimes to do out of town shows. I'm based mostly in the New York City area, and I intentionally all these years haven't traveled much because I didn't want to be on the road. Mostly because I was a single dad raising two girls, two daughters, mostly by myself. And for all those years, I wanted to be there with them. So as much as possible. So I didn't. I traveled very little, but I through the years I occasionally went out for a run out, like one night here or there, and just fly out someplace and come right back. But no tours. No, I turned down opportunities to tour. But when I did fly one place or the other, as one time in the security, they stopped me and made me open a suitcase, and I detached the heads of the wooden puppets, because I have the soft kind and the wooden kind, the Suede's wooden kind, and I put them separately. It's safer to wrap them up just so he's in the scanner, or head, so maybe take it off to examine it, and then he made me open up the head. There's a trap door, because apparently thought I might be smoking drugs or something in the head. So he examined all through the gears and the springs and the rods and everything, examining Suede's head.
Violated the poor guy.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, luckily they didn't find anything.
If where does one go to buy their own Suede or Dr. Fauci?
There are various puppet makers that specialize in ventriloquist puppets, and it depends mainly if you're getting a soft puppet or hard, because they're very different. They're made very different. Suede is a traditional wooden puppet, wooden ventriloquist puppet, often called dummies. When people say ventriloquist dummies, they're thinking of the traditional wooden ones like suede. Now sometimes they're made out of other material too, but traditionally they were carved out of wood, and suede was also. And so there's some people who specialize in doing that. There are other people who make soft puppets that are more like Muppets, cloth and foam. Mainly, cloth and foam type. I use both kinds. I have various kinds. Like you mentioned the Fauci one that he's a soft puppet. I have, several of each kind, but I don't know anybody who makes both kinds. People seem to like they specialize in one or the other. And I hired people to make certain characters according to designs I had or ideas I had.
What would puppet go for, or what would a dummy go for?
Yeah, there's a very wide range depending on the quality and the reputation of who makes it, who build it. Like the suede. If I got another suede built for me now, the guy who built the original suede for me, I asked him recently. What did he tell me? I think he said it would be normally $7,000 for it. Back then, it was 33 years ago. He was new to building these puppets. So he charged me, I think, 1,000. So now he's charging 7,000. There are some people who charge more.
What like? So I like comedy. What's your thoughts about Jeff Dunham?
He's a great ventriloquist. He's obviously the most famous of all ventriloquists. Well, I said probably still the most famous. Of course, there's also Terry Fader is quite famous. Do you know him?
Yeah.
He won America's Got
He was
Talent.
on America's Got Talent. Yeah.
Right. No, maybe a dozen years ago, but has had a big Vegas act since then. And then there's, of course, Darcy Lynn is the girl who won America's Got Talent a few years ago. I don't know, she's 16, 17 now. I think she won it when she was 9 or 10, something like that. So she's very talented, but of course young. I mean, these people who are famous now among the ventriloquists, they're all very good. They're all deserving. But it takes more than just talent, because there are a few I think equally good ventriloquists who are not well known because whatever reasons they haven't pursued it as diligently, or just luck of the breaks or something. I mean, in my case, I think I turned down opportunities that I had because I was not willing to travel, as I told you, for many years. So that limited some of the opportunities I had. I mean, I don't know, would I have become famous like Jeff Dunham? I mean, who knows? But there were some opportunities that might have led me in that direction that I just wasn't willing to do. So
you mentioned you had kids. There's typically like a dad podcast where there's a couple of dads, and I wonder if he's a dad. But even if you weren't a dad, you have the puppets, and I'm like, you know what?
He is a dad. Yeah.
That's a loophole right there, and you know what? He's a dad, damn it. But but you actually have humanoid kids. Were you a hit at all their birthday parties? And two, how did the ladies usually take to your gig?
Well, as far as having two daughters, now they're grown now. They're both in their 20s. One's in college. One graduated a couple years ago. My older daughter, Michelle, is a singer. She's pursuing an opera career. She graduated from Juilliard, so she's a very serious singer, soprano. And my younger daughter, Sabrina, is a filmmaker going to film school in New York. So they're both very talented and artistic in various ways. When they were little and growing up, they both were very, I guess I'd say, very into my puppets from early on. Enjoyed them, and I mean, they were the very young years. It was very cute how they thought they were real. I don't know what age they kind of eventually figured out that they're not actually real, but they thought they were at first. But yeah, I did perform for their birthday parties when they were little most of the time. Saved me a lot of money from hiring other entertainers. But they didn't mind. I don't think they felt slighted because their friends all loved the shows and they were big hits. So I think they took some pride in that their daddy was kind of popular with their friends, that kind of thing. But of course, when they grew out of that as teenagers. They lost interest in
Dad wasn't cool anymore playing with his puppets.
Not cool anymore.
Oh, he's playing with his puppets again.
Yeah. But I think they have renewed. Now they're in their 20s. I think now they're beginning to appreciate me again. Like my younger daughter Sabrina made some comments recently about that. In fact, in some other interview, like a podcast interview we were doing, which she appeared with me also. Because she also has been involved in my web series and my recent movie Casa Noir that I mentioned earlier. And she said some very sweet things. One of the things she mentioned about ventriloquism was talking about how she loves working with me and that are both filmmakers. We have a lot in common. And she said, what could be cooler than having a ventriloquist dad? So it's like that's felt very sweet after all these years and after having seen that she doesn't care at all about it anymore. But I guess now she appreciates it.
So you're popular at birthday parties? Were you popular with other moms? Were you popular with the ladies?
Yeah, I guess so. Let's see how I wish I could redo because in retrospect, I mean, that's one of the things I'm very oblivious to certain things, and this kind of thing with the ladies' reaction. Like in retrospect, I remember now, like so many opportunities. Well, I guess that yeah, she was seemed to be like very interested in me, but for some reason I always separated. Like if I got someone's attention or woman's attention, like when I was doing ventriloquism, I always kind of discounted. I figured like she's kind of just putting me on. Like who's going to be interested in this, right? But yeah, I think a lot of them were, at least some of them were, thought that it was cool. So
hell yeah. Trillo Suede web series Casa Noir. You can find it on imdb.com. Is that yeah? And it's got a 9-star rating. I checked it out. It looks tight.
Oh, you did? Boy, yeah. That reminds me. I've got to check that out myself. The listings and update them. I don't know how. I haven't checked for a while. I'll probably add some more information to some of these. But they are listed there on IMDb. Yeah, and you can see it all on the YouTube channel. It's the Trillo and Suede YouTube channel.
Over 20 episodes. Heck yeah.
And 20 episodes of the web series. And then Casa Noir just recently released for almost a year. Casa Noir was in the International Film Festival circuit. So I could not release it on the internet because it violates the rules of some of these festivals. They wanted to have premieres that other people couldn't see when they were at film festivals. But then I finished the run of the film festivals recently. I figured that's enough of the film festivals, and I just want as many people as possible to see it. So I put it right up there on the YouTube channel just recently, and there for free. Everybody could watch the whole movie. Plus, I've got hundreds of other videos, just a lot of shorts that I do, just fun little things with Suede and with a bunch of other puppets.
Well, sir, I appreciate you coming on.
My pleasure. And on behalf of Trillo and Suede, their pleasure as well.
Appreciate it, Jonathan. Thank you. Sure. Yeah, it was. I was really pumped to be able to talk to you guys, man. It was cool. Like I said, I have a fucking weird thing with puppets, but it was cool. And how you do it, man? The transition is fucking smooth as shit.
Thank you.
Yeah, hopefully, fucking people come check you out in Brooklyn and
keep killing it.
Yeah, keep killing it.
That'll be great.
All right, Michael. That was our guests. Because we had multiple, technically.
3.
Fun conversation. I'm kind of intrigued. I'm kind of intrigued about ventriloquism now. I think my son will get a real kick out of that.
I wonder if, it's got it. So was it Stacy Lynn? I think it was Stacy Lynn, the chick that he was talking about, the younger ventriloquist.
I don't know, maybe.
I wonder if I should have asked him, but I wonder if that gives him hope, because I'm ignorant to the whole ventriloquism thing, what the scene's like. I don't know. Is it is it still popping in some areas and shit?
Yeah,
I don't
there's
know.
hope for the younger generation.
Yeah,
There's over the
like
younger
you see, yeah,
generation.
passing like a flag and shit like that. Like I feel like that's probably like a cool feeling.
And
Yeah, hopefully.
like when you get a puppet, is it kind of like a Build-A-Bear where you kind of like, I want that eyes, that head, that skull, that arm?
Probably, or is it like fucking not Geppetto? Isn't Geppetto it?
Yeah,
No, yeah, it's Geppetto.
yeah, he's the one who made
Yeah, like that's how
Pinocchio.
they fucking do it. That's wild. It is wild. And those puppets are expensive, dude.
7,000.
That's wild. Damn, I should have asked if it's heavy, made of oak, so it's probably got
I'm
some
sure we can
weight to
find
it.
cheap one on Amazon.
Maybe, but it's probably shit quality.
It's all right. It
Yeah.
just it's for Zoom, and for your son's birthday party.
Dude, I wonder like if what's the thing where you dance with the puppets? Is there like what's the term to that?
Puppeteer? I don't know.
Is that a puppeteer? Wonder if I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know, Mike.
It was a cool conversation. I liked it.
All right, Mike. Where can people find you?
Why is it spazzing me out? Am I spazzing?
I can see the light. It's probably that.
And it burns.
Probably that floating banana that you have.
Oh yeah, you don't like my banana. The world needs to see my banana.
Mike loves his bananas.
I love my bananas.
All right,
Damn it, dude.
Where can people find you?
People can find me on the internet. Dudebros_woodworks.
Pornhub,
If you want to, dude, actually, that's weird because I ran over to the tavern before this. My buddies were over there and I showed up and my buddy, he was like, "Did you just get back from shooting a fucking porn film, dude?" Because I guess my hair was all fucked up and still wet. And so it's weird that you say that. I don't do porn, dudes.
Wink, wink.
I'm kidding.
And go ahead and follow me on
Dudebros_woodworks. If you want to follow my actual social, find it. Good luck. Just find it. Try to find it.
His name is Michael Kenneth Drum.
God damn it, dude. Kenneth? Okay. Yeah, Michael Kenneth Drum. Oh, you doxed the fuck out of me with the last name, you bitch.
It's Michael Kenneth Drummer.
Yeah, drummer. There we go. That's better. Where can people find you at, dude?
Go ahead and follow me on TikTok, Dada and Boy. On Instagram, Facebook, Dada and Boys. Right here on YouTube, the Dada and Boys podcast. Or wherever you find your favorite podcast, except Pandora. Fuck those people. On Patreon, patreon.com/Patreon. Bro, you're fucking distracting the shit out of me, bro.
Hey, you want to get into ASMR?
Bro, they have like thousands of views on their freaking like live, like literally 1,000.
So weird.
Like 10,000 people are like watching. And I'm like, this is so stupid as I'm watching for about 30 minutes.
Yeah. People just stay and watch this for 30.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Patreon.
Patreon.com/Dada and Boys. So for Mike, I'm DB. No, that's not what I say.
Nope, it's not. Rusty.
I'm the dad with the A.
I'm Daddy with the Y.
We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Later, bros.